Welcome to Blind Level Tech. I'm Jonathan Price.
I'm Evan Starnes.
And together, we're bringing you news, tech, and information about blind technologies.
Being blind doesn't mean you have to stop living.
We're going to show you just how possible it is to live the life you want.
Will you edit out anything dumb I say?
No, I'm going to keep all that stuff in there. In fact, I'm going to highlight it all.
No, with some sound effects or something.
Do what?
With some sound effects or something.
That's right. Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, gosh.
What is up, everybody? My name is Jonathan Price. I am so excited to be presenting to you Alex, who's, I guess she's technically my boss. So if I screw this up, she's going to fire me really bad.
That's right.
So I'm gonna make sure I don't screw this up too badly. But Alex, how's it going? You were on vacation for a while. What were you doing?
Hello, it's so great to be on the show. Thank you for having me on. I'm doing really well. I was actually on tour with my band earlier in May. It was super fun. We had lots of adventures. And then I got sick for a while, but now I'm back and I'm alive. So
that's awesome. Where were you touring?
So we went on a little 10-day tour just around Nebraska, Kansas, Texas, and New Mexico, and a little bit of Oklahoma as well. So
nice.
Good little road trip. Lots of driving.
How many shows did you play?
Let's see. In 10 days, I think we played 10 shows in 10 days.
Whew.
Yeah, so we had one day off. However, one other day we played 2 shows in one day. So,
oh man,
yeah, and a lot of 3-hour sets too. So it was a long and busy one.
That is crazy, especially when you talk about the driving time from one show to the next, and then to set up. And then, did you sleep at all?
Not really. That's probably why I got sick. It felt like nonstop, just busyness, but it was total pure fun the entire time. Lots of laughs, met lots of really cool people. So it was exhausting, but awesome.
That's so crazy. Yeah, I get stress sickness. So if my body is going through a lot of stress and after it's over, my whole body just collapses and I just get sick. And that's usually the only time I get sick. But
interesting. I wonder if that's what happened to me.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. But that's just what happens to me. But in any case, so Alex, tell everybody exactly what your position is, because unfortunately, I don't know what your official title is. So I just call you a producer and production producer, queen, goddess, whatever. I don't know.
I like all of those.
So tell everybody exactly what it is you do at AINC.
Yeah, so I'm the senior programming manager. I've worked at AINC for about 8 years now, with lots of different titles, but my most recent title being senior programming manager. So my primary priority, I guess, is just managing the programming team, including Jonathan and the amazing Evan and Lauren, our volunteer coordinator. So that's my main goal, is just supporting the team, making sure that they have the tools and resources needed to do what they need to do. And then just kind of driving the big picture programming goals. So we do have our AINC originals, such as this awesome show, among others. But then we also have about 100 other audio publications, which is newspapers, magazines, things like that. So I'm kind of just the big overseer of all the things, but really it's Jonathan and Evan and Lauren doing all the heavy lifting work. So
your job's just wrangling the cats.
Right?
That's awesome.
But yeah, I absolutely love every minute of it, and it's a huge challenge, but it's very rewarding, and I learn new things every day. So, yeah. That's
awesome. Yeah, you started out as a volunteer, right?
I did, actually. So I naturally am very shy, actually, believe it or not. And
you've grown out of that a little bit.
So when I first was looking for volunteer opportunities, I was just like, I just want to challenge myself to do something to combat this shyness, I guess. So I saw AINC and it was be a host for a radio show. So I'm like, oh my God, that sounds terrifying. Let's do it. So I went to the audition. I think I was literally shaking, scared, for the audition. And this was with Kat, actually. And somehow, miraculously, I passed. I actually found my original application with all Kat's notes on it the other day. And yeah, it was pretty funny. It was needs to talk slower. So yes, I did start as a volunteer to answer your question.
That's so cool. That's so cool. And then you went into this position, and you're graduating from CSU in December. Is that right?
Yeah, actually, I'm in my last semester now, so I will be done in about 6 weeks. And then my graduation ceremony.
That's awesome.
My ceremony's in December, so
That's right. Okay. And what is the official degree in?
So it's a bachelor's of arts in journalism and communications.
Well done. Well,
So-
congratulations. I know that's a lot of hard work, especially working a full-time job, and it takes time. So good on you for staying at it and getting that little piece of paper that now qualifies you to work anywhere in the U.S.
Thank you. Yeah, this job is part of the reason why I chose that path. So
That's
I
awesome.
love the communications. I love the aspect of we're bringing information to people, where we're breaking those barriers and those walls. So I love that communication aspect of it, the free information part.
Yep.
So yeah.
So speaking of all the information and getting it out to people, how in the world does AINC do that? We have never talked about, on at least this platform, about the technical aspect of what we do. We always talk about the volunteers and the podcasts, but tell us about the radio stations and the things that we do on a tech side.
Definitely, I'd love to. So we actually run a really big operation. So I would consider us a small organization in terms of our staff.
Mm-hmm.
However, in terms of our technological footprint, our team of volunteers, we're actually pretty huge. So we have over 100 volunteers, and their primary objective is to read newspapers as they are and just convert them into spoken audio content or format for people who are blind and low vision. So that's one step of the equation, is creating the content. And that's a huge part of our operation. And then the other part of the operation is publishing the content. So you're most likely listening to this on Apple Podcasts, but you might be listening on Spotify or on our website or maybe even our telephone service. So you're at least familiar with one of our platforms, but we actually have a ton of different platforms that our listeners can access us on. So we have the internet options, for example, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts. But then we also have some non-internet options. A surprising amount of Coloradans, especially Coloradans who are blind and low vision, actually don't have internet.
Wow.
So we have a few different no internet options for them as well. One of which is a phone system. So you literally dial our number, 303-786-7777 if you're interested. And you can just follow the voice prompts, and you can access our 24/7 streams or any podcast on demand, and you'll get the most recent version of it. And this is no internet required. And then we also have, so I mentioned the streams. We have 4 24/7 streams that people can access on like a radio-like device that we provide to them as well. So basically, it's not exactly FM AM radio, but it operates like that from a user perspective. So if it's someone who they have limited mobility and, they just want to turn it on, then they will access our 24/7 schedule, which has a variety of informational, educational content that they can tune in according to a schedule, almost like a TV schedule. We really try to cover all of our bases in terms of our content, but also our platforms and how people can access us. So it's a huge operation. It takes a lot of people and a lot of automation. So it's really fun stuff.
That's crazy. What are the 4 radio stations? Where do they serve?
Yeah, so we are the Audio Information Network of Colorado. So we primarily serve the state of Colorado. We have 3 English channels, and we actually break them up regionally. So we actually partner with Rocky Mountain PBS, which is a TV station based in Denver, and they air our Northern Colorado channel to kind of mostly the Denver area, all the way up to Fort Collins, Greeley, and even in those corners there. And then we have the Western Slope one, which pretty much covers anything in the mountains. So the entire left half of the state.
Nice.
And then we have the Southern Colorado stream, which covers all those cities over there, mainly, Pueblo, Colorado Springs, those areas. So, and then our 4th one is our Spanish language programming, which covers the entire state of Colorado.
That's awesome. Yeah. And ANC has been around 33 years, 32 years,
Yeah,
something like
32
that.
years actually. Wow.
And so we started off as a radio broadcast kind of network partnering with PBS. And so we're super thankful for them. And if you guys didn't know, we just celebrated a wonderful Concert in the Dark event with Diane Shore, and, wouldn't be possible without PBS. So we're super thankful for them for all the support that they've given AINC over the years. And when we talk about some of the cool technical advantages or I guess advancements that we've seen, you've only been here for 8 years. Kim, our director, has been here, a little over 20 years?
Yeah.
And what are some of the coolest technological innovations that you have seen working with hands-on radio, going into podcasts, I don't know if you were there to go from analog to digital, but tell me a little bit about the coolest technological advantages or advancements that you've seen so far.
Sure. Yeah. So I came right after the analog digital switchover happened. So unfortunately, I didn't get to experience that, but it's still talked to this day because it was a big deal for the people who were here when that happened. I can think of a few actually. So in 2019, we hired on Shrinware to kind of just help us revamp everything. And that includes our studios, our equipment, our software, literally everything.
Yeah.
So probably the most impressive advancement we had from there, it was our radio automation software.
Okay.
So I won't talk badly about the one we used to use, but I will talk very well about the one we currently use. So we currently use Wide Orbit, which is, it's used for both TV and radio, and used by a lot of major radio stations, but it really has allowed us to do so much more and have so much control over each and every one of our broadcasts.
Nice.
So Evan, who you're all familiar with, he can put in any music track he wants in the middle. We have full control over it, which is we couldn't say the same thing about the one before. So that's been huge, and our audio quality has improved drastically. So just the software that's out there and how it's getting more affordable. I mean, they have independent radio services. Yeah, I mean, they have those independent radio softwares that you can get for free. Any person can get for free and have a radio automation software.
That's crazy.
So ours is more advanced than that. However, it's just really cool that it's kind of so easily accessible now. And so many more people have online radios than ever before. I would say the next biggest, most pivotal, societal advancement in audio information has been streaming services like Apple and Spotify. So we actually just got most of our audio editions and all of our podcasts on these platforms a couple years ago, and we saw our download numbers just skyrocket. So our goal with that was really to get our audio in the hands of people. So before we would have to, try to get people to come to us, to come to our website, and we lost a lot of people in that process. But now that we're on platforms they're already using, it removes barriers, allows people we can integrate into people's lives more naturally in a way where will benefit them the most. So I think that was a really, really pivotal point in our history as an organization.
Yeah, for sure. How many people does AINC serve currently?
So registered listeners, we have about 1,500. Okay. However, we don't require registration for listening anymore because we found it was a barrier. So in terms of downloads, I don't have that number off the top of my head, but it's several more thousand than that in terms of people. So we can track downloads on all of our podcasts. A lot more people are listening than we have registered, by
for sure.
Several folds. And in terms of the state of Colorado, there's over 100,000 people who have a reported visual disability of some sort. So that kind of gives you an idea of our potential audience,
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess if you know somebody who is blind or visually impaired or has any sort of visual impairment, I mean, we even talk about if you have not
if you have like a
Parkinson's.
stroke or Parkinson's or dyslexia.
Yes, thank you, dyslexia. That's the one I was thinking of. There goes my brain.
It's okay.
I need to go have that checked out. No, but it's cool because we service all those, modalities, and we service all those people who have maybe those disabilities. And so we want to make sure that we're not only focused on just, your eyes and not being able to see, but it's print impairment. And we want to get you that information as best as we can. Tell me about, give me 3 of your favorite shows, if you can, that volunteers are reading, and some new stuff that's also coming up.
Ooh, sure. Oh man, that's a hard question. I actually have a lot, like in terms of our audio publications, I have a lot of favorites. On the lighter side is a really good one, Jerry, if you're out there. It's just a really good light podcast. He reads like more like light news stories. Cool. He does a really good job with that. All the team, like the team that does the Denver Post is amazing. They all have such wonderful audio quality. They're so professional. Yeah. It's actually a pretty popular program as well. And in terms of new things coming up, we actually have a few new audio editions coming up, 2 of which were listener requests. So the first one is the Model Railroader, which is a monthly magazine that's about like model railroading crafting. So we're going to be reading that one soon. And I know at least one of the listeners that requested it is so excited for that. And then the second one, the Senior Beacon, we're going to start soon. That's a publication for seniors out of the Pueblo, Colorado Springs area. Okay. And it's been around for probably more like 40 years.
Wow.
And we have some new Spanish stuff. La Voz, Colorado is one of the major Colorado news sources in Spanish. We're going to be reading that one. Lots of cool stuff. We're always coming up with new audio publications. If anyone out there listening has any suggestions for if there's any newspapers or magazines that aren't accessible, you can't find an audio version of, please email us and we can definitely consider it. Because we're always looking for listener feedback. So
yeah, absolutely. I love all those. And we do have our podcast, which is Blind Level Tech, which you're listening to. And, I would be remiss because I blew through the entire introduction and this entire show so far without mentioning the fact that you are not Evan Starnes. And people may be listening and they're like, wait, where's Evan?
Change.
And we just, we fired him. So Evan, if you're listening to this, don't bother showing up at the office. So sorry about that, bud. You've been replaced. No, we're so happy that he's on vacation. I don't even know where he is. Where is he?
He's on a trip. I think he said Ohio. I could be totally wrong. Yeah,
of all the places to go.
Right?
Ohio?
Evan, what the heck?
I'm just kidding. Evan, we love you, buddy. No, Evan is one of our tech gurus, and he works a lot on the technical side of the radio and does a lot of volunteer stuff. He has his podcast show, Volunteer Spotlight, which airs every month, featuring a different volunteer or a special volunteer who has earned that Volunteer of the Month status. So, Evan, we're super proud of you. Keep it up and come back to us safe. But it's kind of sucky not having him here. Alex is a great fill-in, but it's fun to banter with Evan every once in a while. But
I know I miss Evan. So
AINC, we have a ton of stuff coming up in the pipeline. We have the hike, we have some other events, but can you talk to us a little bit about some of the changes that are going to be happening to AINC going forward with either adding new podcasts or our name change, for example? Tell us a little bit about the future of AINC.
Yeah, sure. That's a big question. So I personally feel like AINC is at a pretty pivotal point, actually. So we have been, especially when Jonathan came on and Penn Street and Brady and Rosanna, all these new people that are bringing so much to this organization, we're growing at a really fast pace.
Yeah.
I at least from the 8 years I've been here, faster than I've ever witnessed.
Yep, for sure.
So that's amazing. And that also means there's going to be quite a few changes probably in the next year or two. So the two biggest ones, and I'm going to speak vaguely because we don't have any details.
Yeah.
We're actually going to be having a name change, which you may or may not have heard little bits about here and there. But we've been going by Audio Information Network of Colorado for, I think, 10 years now, about 10 years.
That's it?
Yeah. Used to be Radio Reading Service of the Rockies.
Right. That's right.
So that name we just feel like wasn't serving us as well as it could have been. So we're thinking about a new name. We're in the process of deciding on one now, which is super exciting. We will make sure to keep you all updated on that. And then the second major thing is a move. So we're going to stay in this general area. It's not like we're moving to another state or anything. But our current building just isn't working out very well for us. So we're looking at some other buildings. We're going to have a new location. Those are the two main changes coming up in our world.
That's pretty crazy when you think about the amount of growth that we've achieved in the last 2 years. I mean, it's pretty staggering. And, you know, we all fight pretty hard to keep our heads above water. And, you know, it almost comes to the point where we've kind of outkicked our coverage, to use that sports analogy, where we've grown so much and we're only a staff of 10. But to do the work that we're doing, I know I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have you on the staff and to be guiding us and leading us with Kim and Penn in all of our stuff. Can you talk a little bit about the expansion of AINC? Because we're actually getting some national recognition. We're starting to get even some international recognition. What kind of role is that going to play for AINC going forward?
Yeah, I definitely see like we are on the map more than ever before. And I think that brings good and bad and different challenges that we haven't faced in the past before. So yeah, like just 4 years ago, I think we had 4 people on our staff. Now we have 11. So it's more than doubled. And we are seeing a lot, like the guests that you're getting, Jonathan, on like Aftersight and for Navigating Life with Vision Loss coming up, like we're seeing more and more guests. It's becoming more like prestigious of a show to be on than we've ever seen. We're actually getting some visitors from Tajikistan next week. They're actually disability advocate, legal professionals.
Wow.
So they're visiting us internationally through the Boulder, I think it's called the Boulder International Visitors.
Wow.
So that's the first time we've had international visitors, which is super cool that they even
that is really
heard
cool.
of us and chose us. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Our events are getting more attention from, you know, it used to be like kind of friends and family, word of mouth, but now we're getting attention just from people who are in the community. And, you know, it's more natural, a lot more natural traffic from the community. So one of our major goals is to be a community hub. And I feel like we're really working towards that. Like if someone needs resources for, you know, blindness or low vision, they don't come to us because they heard from a family member about us. They come to us because they look online and they find us. Like we are on the map more than ever before. And
100%.
We're standing on our own. We're not, I think it's really cool to see our growth. And I think it is a challenge for us. Like this transition phase for staff, I think is stretching us all, pushing us, you know, to our limits. And I think it's almost like kind of being in a startup company. Like you don't really know what's going to happen. People are working so hard. You know, every single person on this staff cares so much, like genuinely. And you can see that in their work and how they're transitioning through these changes and adapting. So I don't know if I answered your question, but it is.
Oh, no. Yeah, absolutely. I think the thing that makes me most excited about working here is that I've only been here a year and we've grown so much, but it's really more about the community and culture that we have created at AINC. And when you have people who are working together in lockstep for a common good and a common goal, you see those growth patterns exponentially all over the place. And not only in our local community, but now we're talking nationally and internationally. And to that point specifically, we have Morton, and I'm going to screw up his last name, so I apologize. Morton Bond or Bunda. from Copenhagen, and he's going to be joining us on navigating life with vision loss for the end of the month of June, which he's going to be talking about professional development and personal development. And it's so cool to have international guests now that we are pulling. Now we have the entire world at our disposal. And so that, for me personally, is really amazing to be able to contact some of these people who, we're going to have Trisha Zorn, who is one of the most decorated para athletes on the planet. She's going to be talking with Penn Street in a couple of weeks. So make sure you tune into Aftersight for that. And we've got some amazing therapists coming on Blindsight in the next couple of weeks. So we've got some amazing stuff happening, and we could not do it without you guys' support and your feedback and things like that. The last thing I want to touch on, Alex, is if you are a volunteer or you want to volunteer, and what we've said has been like, I want to be a part of this. How do I get involved with this? How do people get involved with our volunteer program?
Yeah, definitely. So the first thing you're going to do is go to our website at aincolorado.org. And there's a volunteer button. You just click apply now, or it's aincolorado.org/volunteer. And we actually have several volunteer opportunities open right now. So that whole page outlines each role, the qualifications, some frequently asked questions, and then you can apply right on that page. So the most common one is to be a reader. So that process is a little bit different. What you'll do is you fill out the application, and then you'll get an invite to complete a virtual audition. So currently at this moment, all of our readers are required to have an at-home setup. We do have studios that are open in Boulder, Colorado that our active readers can use, but you do have to pass a at-home audition before you get to that point.
Right.
But yeah, being a volunteer myself, it's really rewarding. It's because it's for a good cause. You're impacting people's lives. So Lauren does an amazing job, like providing educational opportunities, and we have a whole educational series. And Jonathan provides a learning hour. What do we call it now?
I don't remember. It's changed so many times. It's basically, we call it for what it is. It's an office hours thing. You just log on and you ask for help about how do I plug in my microphone, things like that.
In case you don't know this, Jonathan's a complete genius with all things audio and voiceover. So it's cool because you get all these opportunities to become a really good voiceover artist. So if you're looking to do that professionally, you can volunteer for us. We'll give you really high quality training. So you get something out of it too. And, it helps our community. So I'd highly suggest just coming and apply and see what happens, and take a look at those other roles that are open too, because they're fun. For sure.
Yeah. And I'm also going to take this moment to plug the voiceover boot camp. We're having that on September 15th. It's a Friday. I think it's I don't remember what time it is, but we'll get all those details out. This one will be, I think we'll have it free for a very select amount of volunteers. And then we're going to, for the first time, we're going to open it up to the public, which is going to be something brand new for AINC. And so there will be a fee for, if you are listening to this and you are not a volunteer or a member of AINC, and you want to learn voiceover, you want to learn how to get jobs in voiceover. If you want to do acting or reading or audiobooks or anything that requires voiceover acting or anything like that, come on by. And we've already done 2 of them. They were all amazing. They were so much fun to do. So keep a lookout for that coming up in September.
And this one's virtual, right?
This one is virtual, yes. So
nice.
I think it'll be an hour or a 2-hour session, depending on how many people we have. But it'll be kind of like an audition where you will need to audition for that. It's going to be more in line of a masterclass style than like a general coaching or a general thing. So this is more for those professionals who want to really develop their skills in voiceover and how to find some of those jobs. So it'll be a blast.
Yeah, you really don't want to miss out on that. It's a really great opportunity.
For sure. Alex, anything else from you before we jump out of here?
Oh man. Yeah, I'm so thankful for my team and for you, Jonathan, and for Evan, who's not here. We do need to create an Evan Starnes fan page, I think.
Absolutely. That would be awesome. That'd be
Lauren,
awesome.
I mean, the whole team deserves a shout out. So I just want to say, we couldn't do this without all of you. Thank you for everyone listening. And I am always, always, always looking for feedback on programming. So if you have any feedback at all about any programming, let me know and we will make sure to address that. So thank you so much.
You bet. So one last announcement. We do have our hike coming up on Saturday. Is it August 12th? I want to say that's the right date. Okay. So August 12th. And we got some cool stuff happening. So instead of going hours and hours away. Last year was Estes Park. That wasn't too bad, but this time we are keeping it in the city. We are going to be meeting at our AINC headquarters for breakfast, and then we'll carpool from there up to Chautauqua Park. I'm sorry if I butchered that name, but it is a beautiful hike, and you can pick how hard or how easy you want your hike to be. You can even stay at the bottom and cheer everybody on. And so that'll be a lot of fun. After the hike, we will go back to AINC for barbecue, hangout, and whatever else we decide to plan. So it'll be an amazing event. Make sure you're there August 12th, and we'll see you there. So for Evan Starnes, who's not here, miss you, buddy, and for Alex and the entire AINC staff, we are Blind Level Tech. Don't forget to plug in your devices. See ya.